It's recording. All
Okay.
right, man. What's going on with you, George, man? Welcome to my show. Um, Today we're gonna talk about that Kiki and I guess his name Darius or something.
Yeah.
I don't really care to do too much digging. I'm just really trying to get an understanding between men and women, and I'm gonna use the comments that I done seen on Facebook to try to get a general understanding of the talking points from men and women today, so we can kind of understand each other a little bit better. I think everybody don't really put out their personal ideas about the situation. So between reading these comments,
Yeah.
we can you got like a little alarm thing going on in the back on your door. All right, yeah. So before we get into the comments, what you thought about the situation?
You know what? When I first saw the little video clip, it was just funny to me. I mean, she's jumping around and dancing with Usher because that's part of his show. You know, he's in Las Vegas and he do this residency where he gonna be there like 5, maybe 6 nights a week for the whole. It's already been a year, so he's doing like another residency there. And this is what goes on at his show. The comments. So I didn't expect no different because women they friends and like she out there in public. The comments from him was got me because he like traditional values and all that and moral values. And the argument would have been good for him except for when she was pregnant a couple months back. He had video. I mean, took pictures of her wearing nothing but stockings, covering up her breasts like half naked. You can't tell me how you want your woman to be in a certain way. She's showing her cheeks or whatever, but then you already don't put her out there like this. Is another clip they had posted on like Twitter where she's in like a leopard suit, leopard print suit, and she was twerking, and he had the camera on her butt. So you can't tell nobody like I don't want you to do that when you already done did it to her. So when you ask for that traditional stuff, don't do something then don't want her to do it. That's my opinion. But
Let
if
me.
she would, go ahead.
Well, I think that's the dilemma, man. Before we even get into them comments, I think is with us men and stuff like that. I think men, when it comes to having their relationships and taking somebody serious, I think just by I don't want to be crazy about it, but I am gonna say just because of the society that we live in, I think men kind of is indoctrinating for traditional women when they go to select a mate, not necessarily in marriage or anything like that. Just in general, they look for something that is just theirs. They um and probably a tricky situation dealing with entertainment and stuff because she's in the industry, and by her being in the industry and stuff like that, she gonna take risque photos. She gonna be around the top entertainers and stuff, just like you said, and bringing up them pictures and stuff like that. And he was in support of that. I'm pretty sure when she had that leopard print stuff and all that stuff, she was probably pregnant or just had the baby or whatever. So she was already a mother or on the way to being a mother. So I can understand the the women position about he He supported her, and he supported those photos. He was the one that was posting them and um talking her up. So, but still, I guess we need to discuss about these double standards, because that's what I want to bring to the table today. Um, Men want traditional women, and the
I
game
don't.
didn't change. I don't necessarily need you to be all the way traditional or nothing like that. I just want you to be, a good mother to my child.
That's
I want you to have your own. So already right there, that take you out of that traditional thing,
yeah.
because
Because
already.
I don't want to cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh,
Because
come on, jump in whenever you want to.
yeah,
I'll go back
see,
and come in.
the traditional woman thing is, if you ask for the traditional woman, you got to be 100% responsible for all her well-being. You got to pay the rent or pay the mortgage. You got to buy all the food. You got to buy all her clothes, all the cleaning product, everything that goes in the house is your responsibility.
So
If
right there,
people, yeah, they're
that
100%
financial
got to take
thing.
care of
We talking about finances now, and
her. But
and that uh,
that's traditional.
that's right.
So you can't ask for being a traditional. You want a traditional woman, do what the tradition do. Cause 90% of the people that was a traditional family, the woman was staying at home, cooking, taking, cleaning up, taking care of the kids. And if you want that type of relationship, that's fine. But you got to take all the responsibility for everything.
And I'm not interested in that. That's why I told you I don't want a traditional woman. I wouldn't mind that my woman mate as much as me or more than me, or shoot, she need to be able to shoot for the stars. Um, this idea that a woman should be able to be at the house and that's it, and just to be in her femininity, I disagree with it. That's a personal thing. I know a lot of men gonna be upset with me by even saying that, but um, I don't mind the equal stuff, because financially, um, if you're not making a certain amount of money, that's gonna put a lot of pressure on you. They're gonna take a lot of. They're gonna put
Oh,
a
I was
whole
gonna be
lot.
pressure.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, um, we got to come to this conclusion of what you really want out of these relationships. So with the men, I think we bring up this word that we are the leader. How you feel about that? That men are the leader in today's time, with not even a lot of men making a certain amount of money, or putting themselves in a situation to be a leader, where they providing everything in this family dynamic.
Because if you want that, you got to be capable of being there. You got That's where the capability is, and that's where so many guys missed out because they never had 100% responsibility. They never, like, when they move out of their parents' house, they always moved in with a woman or they moved in with somebody roommate. You find very few guys that had 100% responsibility to even know how to take care of a house without a woman, without anybody, just them and their job. So the technique, well, what's missing, I think, is nobody lead their kids, especially their boys, into being independent before they meet a woman. And if you can count on your hand how many guys you knew or grew up with that had their own place just by themselves, that they had to go to work, come home, clean up their own house, clean up, pay all their bills on their own, no roommates, no nothing. And that's what missing today. Back when my parents were growing up, cause they went the traditional route, but everything was modeled back then that my mother knew how to cook, clean, all that stuff. and my father knew how to work, and they put the pieces of puzzle together to do that. Nowadays, it's none of that. I mean, most of these guys don't know nothing. A lot of these girls, they just fantasize about being on vacation every month, and they think like, oh, I need to be in Paris or I need to be going on a cruise or a beach. And I'm like, I ain't never seen so many vacation people that don't want to work in my life. So if you want the traditional thing, you got to be the leader. You got to make most of the decision. You got to be something where a woman can look at you and say, "Yeah, I want to follow this man. I want to follow him and what he does." And that's where the tradition, the leadership, and all that come from. You got to be strong in yourself before you can take somebody else and lead them.
I mean, I agree to the most part of it. What you saying about those talking points about leadership. Me personally, I just don't believe in leadership. Dealing with a relationship, I don't see it that way. Unless it's talking about that dynamic of what your parents went through. By yeah, one man, the man provided everything, and the woman took care of the household and stuff like that. During these times right now, it's women that has degrees and men not making a lot and all this stuff like that. So it don't even seem like it's a um. It seems like love is conditional now. It's not that unconditional love like how I see it. It's an anomaly to see relationships with the unconditional love aspect.
Because part of the thing is, if you're gonna be respected, you got to have some condition for your love. Because you just can't be like, I love this person. The person do whatever. It got to be like a deal breaker. Got to put a cap on how you let a person do or whatever they do. Because if you don't, then you just getting you. Um, the but if you're gonna be the leader, you got to be the leader all the way. If you try to make the relationship a partnership, that's a good thing because you may can find a woman like where she is strong, you may be weak at, and but as long as you stick together with the union and you talk to her, she talk to you, so y'all have a plan together. That's that's what that's what some things need. That's some relationships is because there's like they said, cookie cutter
I look
relationship.
at it I look at it as the only way now, George. It's the only way because uh, the respect. Even if I hear this a lot of times that a lot of the women say that you can have all this money and still don't treat them right and all this other things like that, and they looking for a person to say that they the leader. But at the end of the day, I'm looking at how much money that you have really don't make you no leader. It's about more aspects than that. So if by leading yourself should be your only thing. The woman lead herself and you lead yourself and y'all come together in some kind of union and build on
I
each
mean,
other strengths and weaknesses so y'all can do some things. I can get with that a little bit more. Because I don't look at men as leaders like they do, like everybody else do. So I'm looking at it more like, okay, you can have all the money in the world. Look at Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre had a whole bunch of money, but they said in the background, I guess the woman at one point that money didn't matter. And now he got to sit there and take care of this woman for a long time. We can eliminate that
but
if
see,
he
that
take that
that
leadership role thing up out of there.
but taking care of that's come with the traditional role. That's where alimony came from. And
I know.
like back when you used to be like the sole provider for your wife, you still responsible for her till she get married. That's what alimony is. Now the governor in Florida, he's trying to get rid of that. but that's what it used to be because women didn't have that many opportunities. That's why you seen so many people got married. Some women was in relationships and marriages for so long, but it was miserable, but they couldn't do nothing.
Well, while you saying that right there, let's kick in a little bit of that situation. Do you think the reason why the women in that Kiki situation and a lot of the men that was agreeing with the Kiki situation about the man shaming her in public um gave so much pushback about the insecurities and all these things was because
He don't have
women,
no leadership role.
what you say?
He don't have no leadership role. She the one got the
Okay,
money.
that's right. So the tradition that he was asking for, a
He
lot of people brought up that he didn't make the money, he didn't qualify for it. But at the same time, they say that money is not the reason. Well, on the man side, they said it don't matter how much money you make, you should still be looked at as the leader. You don't agree with that?
I mean, he don't have no ground to stand on cause I don't even think he got a job. Everything that in that come through from her. And when you don't have no ground to stand on, no control, no respect, if she got to pay for everything, you really now I'm on that type of thing. You really ain't no man if your woman got to take care of you. He's not sick. He's an able-bodied man. But
He might be able-minded man, but if we pushing for equality now, should it matter if he's not sick or not? If it's the double standard of a woman being able to uh be
I'm gonna
provided
tell
for
you
and being at the house, and the man have to go out to work, why that dynamic can't change if we in a equal society at this point?
because I'm gonna tell you why he don't have no ground. If he decided to leave, it won't affect her no kind of way. Only thing it can affect her about is maybe sex. She don't need him for no reason. She don't need no money for him. She don't. She don't
But
need
that's what I'm
no
talking about right
no
there.
protect.
Right there,
Hold on.
George. What you saying?
Well, hold on.
Let's
She
catch
don't
it
need
right
no
there.
nothing. Money, yeah, money does count. She don't
But
have.
they say
She don't
it
have no
don't.
reason
They
for him
say it don't. A lot of the men that support the women, they say as a respect thing, you can be making all this money and still have a wrong kind of attitude. You providing, you doing everything you're supposed to do on your side, and you
he's
don't
not a
supposed to
provider
be the. But I'm saying if he was, because we reversing the roles right now because Kiki is big taking on you saying the traditional man role at this point in this equality setting. So at this point, um, since he's not, he's being looked at a certain kind of way. But if we flipped it, it's okay, it's fine. But we pushing for
no,
equality.
no. My problem with him is he put them pictures out first, and then he want to come back and talk about she shouldn't, her behind shouldn't be out in the public. I'm like, but you put your woman out half naked. That's
Yeah,
one.
I mean I agree
Now,
with that.
number
But don't a lot of women sometimes go talk to they homegirls about their situations at the house? Don't they put
yeah,
their stuff out? Yeah,
but
I'm just want to talk about the hypocrisy and the equality thing. That's really how I want to
but
show.
he
I'm
lost.
since you taking that position, I'm gonna take the other position and speak. Even though I might disagree with a lot of these side points on the man side, because man look at themselves as a leader, and I'm telling everybody off the jump, I look at society as everything is designed for the woman, whether people want to look at it this way or not, and only our egos as men to actually think that you controlling the woman. You're not controlling no woman, especially women that got money, especially women got their own mindset and stuff like that, and they don't need you for nothing. You said it yourself that in this society now, We what a person missing out on if they drop you today, if they make their own money and all this stuff like that, and we're not in these traditional roles anymore. So at this point, shoot, the only thing the man is missing out on is his money, his ability to go out there and mess around with other people or do things that's not respectable to the woman. But it seemed like on the other side, I got to play this role, so I'm gonna play it very well. That the woman can do all these things without no accountability uh, on it,
But
but all the accountability is always on the man because one of the issues is in the comments that the man is insecure. He's looked at a certain kind of way because he don't make the money, and then that the other instance of it is he's he's being shamed for the same thing that women in an equality society get to do all the time. And then one of the talking points that the men or the women say is these men want to be like women. And I think at this point, shoot, it's a lot of men that do want to have the same benefits and double standards that the women have because it seems very nice over there. It's like it's conditional love on their side, and for us, we got to be all way in. I don't know if you agree with that or disagree, but go ahead.
um, well, I'm just saying for Kiki and that guy's sake, he don't have no ground to stand on. Once you start putting half naked pictures of your woman out, you can't complain about your woman being scantily clad. Once you put half naked pictures of your woman out, you can't complain about your woman being scantily clad.
Okay, so we'll take it off of them just for a second. We'll come back in, but
But
we'll
one more thing
go
before I get
ahead, go
off.
ahead.
Well, if this guy leaves Kiki, what that's no effect
There's
for
no
her.
effect
She
on her, but it's gonna be a lot of effect on him because he's gonna have
oh,
to come up with ways to go and visit his son, and he's gonna have to work it out. It's
no,
gonna be a lot of things he's gonna
not
have to do.
really. Not really. If she's a good woman, that'll just see her character. If she's a good woman, he'll probably be able to see his child. It's
But it's a
just
lot of
like,
good women that justify the things that they do to their baby daddy.
yeah, they do, and they do, and they
That's
do.
why I said it that way. There's a lot of good women that justify anything that they do to their baby daddy, just because
I mean,
they feel like
some people,
he did them wrong, and they can't separate the relationship they had from the relationship of the co-parenting. So they make that person suffer, especially
sometimes.
if you get with somebody else. Now I'm saying some. I'm not gonna say all because there's some good women out there that won't keep that man away from his child for no reason.
Oh, I mean, some women actually be looking for the man, and the man be ducking out on the child. I don't want to see his child win at his convenience.
That's facts. But there's some women at the beginning that didn't have to look at their child at all because they went and terminated the pregnancy.
Yeah, the abortion thing. I mean, you shouldn't you shouldn't have more kids than you can afford. I mean, I
So
don't care about what.
is population control versus what people traditionally believe in of their religions and stuff. You know, I don't even care about religion like that, but I got to play that role today. So
Yeah.
population control over what your beliefs is.
So you know what? The population control is really not what people think it is, because they think like black people leading the way in abortion, but no, they're not.
I never said
No,
that. I think what I mean by it is just having that right to be able to choose over what your beliefs say. Like if the majority of the Abrahamic faiths tell you thou should not kill, you pretty much the way you justifying it saying that was not a person, that was a fetus, or it was this, or it was that. So
but
um I
abortion
think
sometimes you need.
let's change the word up because it might be a trigger word. Let's say deleting the baby for the algorithm. Let's say deleting. My bad on that.
No, because sometimes you need abortion. I was against it, but then I realized like women have health problems that they can't have no child. It put them at risk, even put the child at risk. It's not just cut and dry like people like, oh, I don't want a baby. I'm gonna just go to the store and knock this out. And you
I mean,
can't have,
I agree with you on some of them.
yeah, but you can't have like religion dictate other people's lives. If you're a Christian and you have the Christian beliefs and all that, you can't just be up there telling people what they can do based off of what your religion is.
But I'm only talking about. I'm not telling the majority of people what to do about uh other people on that don't necessarily believe. I'm only talking about, like, black people are religious for the most part, the majority, because that's
Yeah, a
how we
lot of
were
them.
growing up. So I'm just talking about the ones who actually believe in that stuff. They know what it is that they really should be doing or not, and a lot of them be the ones that do it. I'm only talking about those. I'm
I
only
mean,
talking
I
about the
have,
ones who believe. I'm not talking about the ones that don't believe or pushing your religion off on other people.
no, I have religious beliefs, and I mean, I believe in God. I believe in a whole lot of the things, but I have to realize you got to use a little bit of common sense, and you got to know, like, having a bunch of kids and you can't afford them, but you don't want to have abortion because that's against your religious belief is not a good thing.
Well,
You don't need to bring a child into the world and a child
I
suffer.
got pushback on it. I think
Mhm.
it's a mindset in a whole bunch of by the kids anyway. Just black people having a whole bunch of kids just because of how society is anyway. Because the ones that you already know where I'm gonna go with this Nick Cannon, Future, and all this stuff. It seems like it's a negative connotation on black people having a lot of kids, even if they can afford the kids or not. What they bring up is spending time with the child. You don't got enough time in the day to spend with all these children. But don't nobody care
Exactly.
about the man that's divorced from his woman and how much time he get is only the time is allocated by the government.
No, I mean,
The
but
2 days out of the week that he gets, or 2 days out of every other week that he gets.
having a bunch of kids, and that's another thing about parenting, because people just think that being present makes you a good parent. No, it takes more than that. You should be able to be able to talk to your kids sometime, be able to enjoy some time with your kids. Some people don't. I mean, and just having a bunch of kids just because you're able to, that's a body function.
I
Your
mean,
body is able to.
let's give you some pushback on that. What about the guys who made the money that's in their kids' life, but they have to do stuff for their country? Where the woman already know the situation and all that stuff like that, and they have to go overseas and all that and hold down the fort. What's the difference between them missing out on things in their child life because they're doing for their country, and a person that spending money in divorce and taking care of his kids and stuff, and he had to take care of two incomes, or a man who has a lot of money that can't get to every kid that he done brung in his world. So I gave
I
you three
mean,
different scenarios.
but see, they're going to think about serving your country. If you married and you and your wife had a baby, as long as you're not deployed in the battlefield, fighting in the service, you can take your kids with you, your wife with you. I mean, because my one of my best friends, his sister married a guy in the Air Force. They went from Texas to Alabama to Florida. They came to Georgia. Only time he went around his son and daughter when he was deployed. My boy, even he grew up in him and his mother married his stepfather. He went he came from Alaska. He lived in Oklahoma, Texas, Charlotte, North Carolina, and all that. So if you join the military and long as you're not deployed, like as long as you're not in the war zone, your family could go everywhere.
Okay, so what about the ones that not in the war zone that go over well, the ones that's in the war zone then,
I'm,
because now that changed the situation up. Now you're doing something and
but see, that's
sacrificing
part of his
for the
duty.
country.
But that's part of your duty. That's not like you being some guy that just dropping out of your kid's life. Like
Same,
if
it's
you,
the same.
if
It's the same effect though, right?
not really because
Why not?
drop, cause dropping out of your kid's life, like you got a daughter and you see your daughter here and you cause you right here in Augusta with her. But if you was like fighting in Afghanistan or somewhere like that, you get phone calls from her. You let her know you love. Her. I'm. It's the deadbeat guys that got kids and don't even make no effort to see them. That
Would
be
you? Would
here in
you?
Augusta. Like I knew some guy he had kids like in Augusta, and he don't even have any interaction with him. That's a deadbeat. But if you're in the military,
That's not one of the scenarios I gave you, because we understand
but
about the deadbeats. We're not even going to consider them right now because
no, because they're
we
not.
understand that they not involved in their life, and we both under the agreement of that. I'm talking about the scenarios where the kid have a dad, but the dad is technically not there because they dealing with different situations, either making money, serving a country, or a divorce, and they got to take care of two incomes,
I mean,
and they
only
partially.
serving your. I'm telling you this, only serving your country is the way to keep you from your kid. But if you here in the states and your child here in the state, you can go see your child now. That just an excuse. If you put your job or work in so much that you can't take at least one day out, then you're not really doing your job as a father. I mean, phone calls, text, and just actually going to physically see them. I mean, that's the
I
difference
mean, I
between.
mean, if you in a financial situation to and the child is in close proximity, like you said, with the deadbeat, I can agree with that. But sometimes it be situations where your child might be on one side of the country and you on the other side, and every time
How
you
does that?
try to get to see them, you know what I'm saying, you're trying to be present and stuff. You're gonna have to
Well,
work. You got to bring them to the court. You got to fight. You got to do all this stuff and keep up your household and pay what you're supposed to be paying. Is there any consideration about that, or it's just you the man and you need to do what you got to do to be present in their life? Is it a double standard between a man in that situation, or if we flipped it and put a woman in that situation, would she get the same kind of blowback that that man get?
because well, one thing about is child support. If you pay child support, you got a right to see your kid. That woman can block you, and if you do, and if she start doing it, you can actually have her put in jail.
That's
So it's
that's
not
facts, but they do it anyway sometimes.
no, yeah, but see, that's why you got to stay in the courtroom. We fight about everything else. We need to fight about our kids too, even though we shouldn't have to.
Okay,
But
so at least you agree on that you shouldn't have to
yeah,
fight like that and then be trying to provide for yourself and your household and another person's household. At least we
but
agree
see,
on
you see, child support is not supporting a entire household. It's supporting just
that.
the up
I get
for
it,
your
but
child.
I
But
get it,
see,
but technically, remember, we had a conversation, I think a couple of days back when I brought up that I look at, if you co-parenting, although you're not having sex, you still have a relationship. So I look at that as a polygamous type situation without it being sexual, because you still should have some kind of say about your child in that other person's house. So it's more than two people. So by it being more than two people, because
Yeah,
you don't expect that person to stop living. You expect them to go out there and continue still life. So I look at it as okay, this person got to have a little bit have say over their child.
you
So
always supposed you're always supposed to long. I mean, long as your child is being taken care of and well fed and treated right, it shouldn't be no problem. Whether she, whether like if your wife had a new man, long as he treats your child with respect, and long as your child is, because some kids are bad too now.
that's
They're
facts.
messed up with that shit.
That's
But
fact. And a lot
but
of them be acting out because they missed the dynamic that they had with their original family. So
yeah, and you got
it's
that's
bad
when
because
that's
they not getting the attention, the balance of their mom and their dad like they used to.
yeah, that's where you got to come in and you got to have a conversation with the child. I mean, that's one thing that was missing from the old days when parents split up or whatever. You never had back in the days. A lot of people didn't co-parent. I mean, my mother and father they never split up. They still married. But I grew up around like 12th Street and all that, and I seen all these single parents, and I seen the mothers with boyfriends, and I seen all this other stuff. And sometimes the man wouldn't even come to see his child because another man was in the house, but he wanted to come see his child when his child called him like, "Oh, he told me I can't do this." Your child's
You
not
you
supposed to
you,
rule the
you
house.
pretty much saying that the man only want to see his child if the woman was gonna have sex with him, right?
I Yeah, I've been
You
around
alluding
that.
it, you alluding around it, so don't beat around the bush. We're gonna let's jump right on in it. I think this conversation pretty good. So I'm not gonna go with the original topic today. I think we just gonna flow around and stuff. It's easy on me because I'm new to this StreamYard format. I don't know how to put the intros in, play the videos and all that stuff. So we'll bounce around with what we doing right now. So with what you was
No,
talking about it's some men out here that don't want to be present in their child life unless they can have action with
the
that
one.
that woman. So
Yeah,
let's expand on that.
went out. Mm, Your volume gone.
You can't hear me?
Oh yeah, now I can hear you.
Yeah, I had stopped talking.
Okay. Well, you know what? Before we cut it off, we get back to the whole thing with Kiki Palmer and her man.
Mm-hmm.
And if Kiki Palmer get rid of this guy, she won't lose nothing. She
That's
won't.
facts.
So
I said that's
she won't.
facts.
Hmm,
I said
yeah.
that's facts.
She won't lose nothing. I don't know how good he is as a father, but like she can find another man. She's still young in her 30s or something. I mean, you don't even have to be in your 30s to find a new man. You don't have to be in your 30s to find a new woman. People think that just because you get a couple years on you that your your single life that you can't get married again or you can't find somebody else. I know one one of my schoolmates got married last year. Your cousin Latasha Truesdale, and so people think that it's a time limit on getting back in the life and getting the life you want. It's not a time limit. As long as you health and your mind is good, you can find somebody. Kiki Palmer don't need this guy. This guy, if he had a problem with her, he should have settled that matter behind the scenes at home because what Usher doing, he do that every night. He just not doing that just for her. He may got closer to her because he know her. He's seen her before. He's in an entertainment business. She is. He just jumped on something and said something. And when you talk about family and morals and all that, if you want tradition, that's fine, but it comes with a lot of work also.
Well, my only pushback to that is since we back on that conversation, from the
Yeah.
man point of view, on it, that's not an agreement of it's just a concert. Um, what I was hearing in the comments was more about the respect. Like if they brought up the situation with Janet Jackson. I told you that Janet Jackson,
Yeah,
if
she
we
be
go
all
if
on
we
me.
she used to do that, but we talking about now. It's
She still
easier.
do that. She
Do
was
she
she
do
was
it? Do
she
she
just came off. She
do
just
she
came off a tour with with Ludacris. She still do that. She ain't you.
oh, okay, so she still bring the man out on the
Yeah,
wheel and turning around, and she be doing all that dancing stuff on him.
yeah. She just came off a concert, huh?
I guess I prefer instead of now.
No, I'm talking
No
about
dis
now.
no disrespect or nothing to Miss Jackson if you nasty or whatever.
She can't
I
fight,
just
but
she's not the same, bro. She's not the
she,
same, and it's to me. I feel like it was a disingenuous conversation to bring up a woman from the past. But you say she do it now, so I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna
yeah,
go with it. But my whole pushback on it is she's 60. She almost 60 years old, bro. And
yeah.
I
She ain't young.
kudos to her. Kudos to her. We not trying to disrespect people on their age or nothing. But you know what men want. You know what we want. And if a woman is in support of it, I got to look at it with a little eye myself. Like, oh, all these women in support of this, and then the men in support of it too, because of whatever their positioning is, what they understand with the woman. I'm I'm gonna have to look at it with a close eye. So I'm
I
looking
mean,
at her. She's I know at least climbing to 60, and if she still can do the things that she was doing at in her early 20s and things, kudos to Miss Janet. Kudos
she
to her.
yeah, she's a good health. I mean, like I said, she just came off a concert tour with on Ludacris. They started maybe in January, February, and ended like maybe end of April, Feb May. She's still out there doing shows and all that. She still do that every now and then, part of a stage show. But ain't none of them guys ever left with her.
But yeah, yeah,
Erica Bart,
we
look at
not even
Erica Badu.
true. We not even talking about leaving with them. I think people are missing the point of what the men are saying. The men ain't got nothing, ain't never said nothing about the woman leaving with the man. They pretty much saying that these women are fangirling out on Usher, and they got the issue with that. Almost like it was a part. I don't know if you seen it where Usher was on the Titantron on this big screen, and he lifted his shirt up and he's showing the abs, and she got the camera showing her facial expressions as the shirt go up, and her eyes getting all big and stuff like that.
Because
Man, it's them choosing signals. Them is
but
choosing signals.
Usher's a legend.
I get
Usher,
it, bro, but it's still the men see it as disrespectful, and then the women don't want to acknowledge that. They do not want to acknowledge that is to the men that's disrespectful. They don't want to acknowledge that.
well,
I'm gonna hold. I got to hold that part uh as whatever they
I,
want to see it as insecure or whatever. But we acting like men don't have feelings. And
yeah,
shoot,
men do
and
have
then
feelings.
let's go ahead and just say it like this: what man want any man in a woman face? No man. No man want no woman in their face. No woman want no woman in a man face, and no man want no man in a woman face, and that's
Here
fact.
go, here go
But
my,
we want to act
here go
like
the
okay,
question.
it's just a concert. It is not. It's the point
Yeah,
of what happened in the concert, and it had nothing to do with the clothes. It had
here go the,
nothing to do with him taking her home.
yeah. But you know what? So if you go to Janet Jackson concert and she grab you, you gonna like snatch away from
I never said that.
her.
Because
Yeah.
in the comments, it seemed like the majority of the women was like, "I'll bring a camera and support them on that just to justify what happened to Kiki." But the
Well, here goes.
situation ain't the same to me. It's
Um,
not the same because it's not the Miss Jackson that when I had to put in the VCR tape to see that light skinned dude get put on the wheel and get turned around while she was with that little leather on, and she was walking through the waterfall with that body she had. Well, it's not
Yeah,
the same, bro. It's not the
but
same. I'm from the I was born in the 80s, so I seen the concert. I seen the
but
concert in the 90s on tape.
yeah,
We can't compare that, bro. We
she
can't
still
compare
did it
that.
in 2000. But my question is, just the way you see Janet Jackson as a legend, Usher is a legend,
I agree,
and
man. And I think that makes it worse. I think it makes it worse because it's some women out there that although he was a legend, they still chose their man over the
yeah,
legend, bro. And
mhm,
I understand there's different relationships out there, but a man wanna feel special, bro. Men
yeah,
want to
you.
feel special, especially these men that y'all calling leaders just to use and abuse them. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
I mean, yeah, man, want to be special, but you just have to realize some of these guys you probably seen make comment done been to a strip club. And if you done been to a strip club more than like what 5 6 times, or you if that's something regular you do, you
See,
don't got no time.
that's a realistic example. And
You
this is now how women would feel about this. Let's bring it down to something that we know that's personal. So we understand that women have girl trips and all this kind of stuff like that, but they go to these concerts. But we know
yeah.
men go to strip clubs and get go to clubs where women dance on and stuff. How is that woman gonna be in support? The majority of these same women gonna be in
But
support for these scrippers throwing the dollars out
and
on
see
the butt with them,
that's,
filming it, or
that's my
another
thing.
woman at the club
I
dancing
like
on their pelvis.
I like a naked woman just like anybody else.
And me
But
too.
I don't
I
go to
told you I view them equal.
I don't go to strip club. I went to a strip club last time like almost 11 years ago, 2012, and
It
that
probably be
because
about the same for me too.
that's because my homeboy he was dating a stripper, and he asked me to take him by there before I take him to work. Christmas Eve, I ain't even know a strip club be open on Christmas Eve.
Oh, it definitely be because people looking for more than turkey and dressing.
Yeah, but if a guy that went to go to a strip club, he don't have no ground to talk about what his woman can't hug Usher when you actually paying other women. Cause I went to a strip
But
club and
that's the game, bro. Don't you agree if you in some kind of relationship with a woman
and,
and with this leadership thing that you gonna pay money
yeah,
indirectly or directly? So it's like
no.
as a man, you gonna pay. I think that's a
And
double standard right there. And
first time,
I'm gonna have to hold that for the men too,
yeah, cause
playing this
first time I went
position.
to a strip club, I wasn't old enough. They wouldn't let me in. But 30 years ago, 31 years ago, I went to a strip club with my homeboy Eric. I spent the total, the most I spent was like $4. That's for a soda. That turned me off the
I
strip
did the
club.
same thing. I bought a beer, and it was my birthday. It was some old
You
people
know,
sitting there, and the girl was dancing. You hear the DJ like, "Hey, this ain't the peep show. Y'all need to be tipping." And all I did was went up there and went between them old people and throw like probably like $2 or $3. And then I came and sat down. After she got off the stage, she came and gave me a hug and gave me a dance for free. And then
I
I
went.
ain't come back.
I've been to a strip club. It was the Speakeasy. You know where the
That's where
courthouse
that
is?
at. Where the courthouse at. I
Yeah,
know exactly where
that,
it is at.
that
That was
that
in
let
my
you know how
neighborhood.
long it's been. And I brought a soda that was no, it was $3 back then. And I gave a girl that I went to school with $1 because I borrowed $2 from the guy Nick that was with us, and I gave her one because I'm not giving them the money. And I went two more times. I've been to a strip club 6 times in my whole life.
I
Six
think
times.
I think I think I've been by three. The other one was a back in a hole in the wall club where they had women stripping inside the club. So it might have been three times. But
No, 6 times.
you had money control in when you went to the club. Well,
I mean, of course, I can't see
and you
nobody no
decided
money.
how much you was gonna spend, and you didn't let nobody dictate that or make you feel any kind of way for what you was doing. I got a reason why I'm saying this. So
well,
answer carefully.
I was mad anyway because I didn't know soda cost that much.
That's
And it
right,
cost,
upcharge.
but that what we saying. If the men complaining about Kiki, your woman dancing with a celebrity on a concert, that's not the same as. But you go to a strip club and you throwing out dollars, you a hypocrite. No, a matter of fact, that make you worse because you don't took money there to give it to a woman that no probably ain't going home with. Why she just up there standing dancing with a guy.
I mean, well, that's the same to me. Like you making it different, but only thing I look at is the woman paid all her money up front, and it's a chance. She paid for a chance to dance with the one. Like some of these
But
cover charges ain't the same as going to a Usher concert. It's
but
not the
dancing with
same
a
to get in the strip club or a
but
club.
dancing with a fully dressed man is not the same as you dancing with a butt naked girl that you still handing money.
I think it is because women they are sexual beings as men, but they're attracted to the man as a whole instead of a man is more visual attracted to visual pleasing to the eyes. Shoot, that woman is visually pleasing to the eyes of well the woman is
You
looking with her
you thinking
mind
about the
and her
body,
eyes. Yeah, she thinks about it. You know what I'm saying? Mentally. So she's mentally stimulated, like we are visually stimulated. So I look at it the same.
but
That's
if
what
you
I'm
know
saying.
what,
It's more of this respect thing. See, it ain't the problem that Usher chose her. It's the problem that Kiki chose him
yeah, cause look who it was,
because who he
and see,
was.
and the problem was you said about him as a package and looking at a stripper as just a
Absolutely,
body is
absolutely.
that shows you what's wrong with some men
No, don't say
because
just some men. It show you what's wrong with
no
society because
no but
it's like the man is pretty much doing the same thing the woman doing just from
no
his point of view. Now
but
y'all trying
see
to separate it, but it's not no separation.
yeah
It's
it
not
is
no separation
because I'm gonna
because
tell you why.
we don't just
I give
because
you
men don't care about the mental
I'm gonna give
of
you
a woman,
I'm
you
gonna give
trying
you
to
the
make
separation.
us villainize it.
I'm gonna give you the separation of why of what you just said. Because if you look at the package and she looking at a whole, like Usher got a successful career, Usher got the looks that she want, Usher got the money, Usher got all of this right. But then if a man could there look at a woman and all he thinking about is the body, he ain't thinking about is she a good mother? Is she got a good home? Is she disease free? I mean, even though Usher, they said got herpes.
Yeah,
I
that was
don't,
a bad example, bro.
yeah, but but Usher is a better package than a stripper. Usher, cause people don't know, Usher fought his ex-wife for custody and got custody of his kids. They don't talk about that.
But I'm saying when
'Cause
you
that was,
have money, you should be able to do that kind of stuff easier. D
well,
Wade did the same thing, right?
Usher, Deion Sanders, Dwayne Wade, he
It's
fought
a
his
lot of them.
ex-wife. All
But
of them got
we
custody of
talking
their
about
kids.
at that point, we talking about that whole package of a man that all women look at, just like how men look at the most stimulating and pleasing to their eyes. It do kind of correlate to the same thing because if a man supposed to traditionally be providing all this stupid stuff for the woman and giving her the things that she want, like he already gonna be priced out if he don't make a certain amount or got this status or had a whole package that stimulate the mental and the
But
physical. She can't just be
that's
having
why you're
that
supposed to
money.
look. That's why you're supposed to look deeper than just the outside.
Who
Because
says this?
honestly,
Who says it's a woman or a man?
a man. That's why both of them, man and woman. Cause like the when we see it, all these people, um, I would take Beyonce over Rihanna because one, Rihanna been around the block a couple times. Two, Beyonce hasn't. I
We
mean,
don't know that.
only, huh?
We don't know that. Just like how women talk,
I mean,
we don't
no,
know
we
that at
seen,
all.
well,
We just
for
see
what we
how she
seen,
perceives herself.
for,
We don't
for
know
what
that
we
at all.
seen, what we seen, Rihanna been around a couple times. We ain't seen Beyonce with number
That's
two
all
other
I'm
men.
saying. We judging her by the
Yeah,
cover of outside. We're
but
not judging about what goes on
but
inside. Ain't nobody seen
we,
what goes on inside the doors.
yeah, but
I'm at
but
just like how y'all at.
even the presentation is better because
Say that. We're gonna say that then. The presentation
no, because
is better.
I like the way Beyonce present herself. You can't see
I
her.
agree with you on that, but I got to play my role.
I know you're a Rihanna fan, but
No, no, I
but
actually a Kelly Rowland fan.
I'm a Kelly Rowland fan either. I'm too. I
I like
mean,
Beyonce as well. What she did with her career, but
I
I enjoyed Kelly
you know
more.
I can't see nothing bad about Kelly Rowland. I can't say nothing bad about Beyonce because what from what I've seen and what in publicly, even Michelle Williams, um, Latoya Luckett, none of them girls was like bad publicity. Only one of them, I can't think of the others, but Farrah, ain't none of them Destiny Child girl for bad publicity. Only thing bad about them was the one Latavia, and she ain't really had no bad publicity. She just got arrested for drinking and driving. I would take those girls because it seemed like they all got their business together and all present themselves as just young women that respectable. I don't want no
So
Rihanna with
so
a gut out hanging.
now I got you. Now I got you, George. Just by using this example, um, this what I'm offer to you. So you saying even you that look at the respect and how people are perceived, you kind of can understand where men coming from because
But
you even
yeah,
choose men I mean choose women the way that the men on the other side look at these traditional put together women a certain kind of way as the first choice for your own self.
yeah, but it's how you carry yourself. But you
All
got to have
right
your
then.
but you got to have your standards, but you can't impose them on a woman. You got to find a woman that fits your standard, not try to change the women that don't. Cause like I like
So you
Megan
ain't no
Thee
leader
Stallion,
then. You ain't no
huh?
leader then if you can't. You ain't no leader then, right?
Yeah, cause
It's no such thing as a leader then.
yeah, it is a leader. You can lead a woman. It's
Not
not
at all. How you gonna do it? Expand
because
on that for me.
because you be the man that she wants. I mean, you can be a leader and you lead the woman that you want to lead, the woman that's gonna see you and follow you. You, cause I like Megan Thee Stallion appearance. I like a lot of stuff about Megan Thee Stallion because she carries herself more than people think. I mean, she's a college graduate. She's about her business. She even has some stuff where, yeah, I'm not too thrilled about, but I would not go after her because,
Well, but why?
well, you know what? Maybe I would
She she expressing herself just like all the majority of women that want to dress a
yeah,
certain kind of way, and you like it, right?
but but I like her looks. I like her talent. Well, not really a talent because some of the songs I'm made for girls. Some people make songs for women, and I'm at the age where you can't talk about butt naked stuff all the time to me. But you be the man that lead the woman that you want, not be the man to go out there and conquer a woman and break her down and break her spirits so she have to follow you. That's all I'm
But
saying. Cause
if we flip that, what you say is now the game has changed where women have always did this. It's just a light being shown on it. They want things to be done at the house. Talk to them at the house about it, where they can give their critiques and all that stuff like that on how you talk to them and all that stuff. And if the relationship don't work out right and stuff, if they don't just end like with irreparable differences, they be the ones that bring out the reason why, so they can show save face and point all the stuff back at the man because he is this so-called leader.
Well, you know what? Some women gonna do that, but if you don't want to be the leader, then you got to find a woman that your co-pilot. Even if you are the leader, you still got to find a woman.
Even if you this so-called leader, it's gonna be times where you're gonna submit to your woman, whether people whether they think so or not. You will submit to your woman
You,
in order to please her. You will do it. It's gonna happen. In
I
order,
mean,
if she like flowers, guess what? You're gonna submit to that idea and go buy her some
you
flowers.
you supposed
And
to
you're
you supposed
supposed to do it, right?
you're
So
supposed to
what
do something
is
to make your
leader
woman
practice?
happy.
What
You
is it?
supposed
What is it?
you supposed to do stuff to make your woman happy.
So at the end,
If you-
I do remember you just said something about breaking down a woman's spirit
yeah,
and conquering her and all this other stuff like that. But ain't that's what leaders do? Ain't that's technically what women
when you
do
go
as
when
well?
when you
They
go to
do
war,
that same thing.
I mean, when you go to war, you conquer people.
Okay then.
Your love shouldn't be war. I mean,
But it
leadership.
is though. It is in a lot of aspects of you are warring with yourself to be in a union and give in and submit to the ideas of what is gonna make your relationship work. And a lot of people now ain't ready for relationships because they can't stay in them. They can't stay in
No,
them, and they
right.
very easily give up. So it is a war in your mind, at least, to be able to fight for your relationship. So you are in a war because you're in war with the ideas of outside affecting your mind and affecting your household, and you got to stand on the things that you believe in, and you got to come to some kind of understanding with your mate, so y'all can
But
get together and be together and stay together.
but you come to that understanding all the way from the beginning because, like I said in the beginning, you got to present yourself in a way that a woman say, "Yeah, I want to follow this guy." Not you. If you got
I don't.
your rule,
I'm gonna be honest with you, George. I don't believe that. I don't believe that a
yeah,
woman want to follow nobody when she's in this day or age. She has her own mindset. And
yes,
y'all trying to discredit that. I'm not allowing it. I'm not
no, she
allowing
do
that because she. How can she follow you? You got to
because
y'all said y'all got to come to the table and have some kind of understanding of what each other's looking for.
yeah, you come to
So
the
is she
table,
following you or y'all
but
following
you
each other?
no. If you be a man of quality, cause some women are impressed by who a person is and how they carry themselves, and yeah, they will follow you even if they
But
had that.
that's at the beginning. As over time in a relationship, the
You
reason
still
why things go sour because people trying to do the same thing from the beginning, and the dynamics don't change. The
how
dynamics
to
be
die.
done change. The dynamics change because life happened and people have new goals and new experiences that change their mindset. Whether
But
people want to agree with that or not, it's the facts that you're not going to be the same person in 5 years. And
no,
if you're in
but
the same relationship, no, now you saying the core, I understand what people gonna say. You're gonna say the core of
but
yourself will be the same, but sometimes that
but
ain't
it's
even the
called
case.
growth. It's called growth. Growth. I mean, you still be the leader. I mean, you still got a core values that you still have.
I'm
I
sorry.
mean,
I feel like y'all everybody who say they're the leader by name only.
no,
But when
you
you
be a
go on
leader
the
by
job, it's a clear cut thing of
you be
who
a
your
leader by
boss
action.
is, and
I can't.
you're a leader by example. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
that's
that woman
action.
can also be a leader too. She can
I
also
ain't
be a
saying,
leader.
but she can follow you. A woman can follow you if they see the good in you. If they, if you see the process of vetting the woman that you get, is that you got to know how this woman think before you even do commit to her. That's why some people jump from a few a month or two of knowing somebody. They don't know the whole. Well, you ain't never know the whole thing of
That's what I'm
everybody, but
telling
you're
you,
gonna.
man. That's to
But
me that's why men be so upset at these conversations. I see it already. That's why I got to play this role and bring it out because right there, you think that just because a person revealed this certain kind of image to you on the man side or the woman side, that they gonna it's gonna stay the same over time. The truth about a person gonna come out, or they might conceal it for a long time. You never gonna know 100% of nobody. And how can you lead when you have no leverage? Nobody have no leverage in this day of time. Nobody got it. How you leading? You only leading because you think you leading. You not leading nothing. Because if she get tired of you and tired of your ways and stuff like that, you could be doing the same thing. That's why I'm not gonna. I can't allow people to just be on that, because I'm looking at it as, shoot, you can do everything that you think you're supposed to be doing, and to that person you're not doing enough. And then y'all gonna have to come to some kind of conclusion of trying to please each other. So if you got to please that other person, you
You
submitting you
you
submitting to
should
their
please
will too, right?
you
you
should
you
please the other person.
okay, if
Yep.
you pleasing that other person, and you submitting to their will to be pleased.
No, no, because it's a team thing. It's a team environment.
Okay, if it's a
She
team environment, where the leader come from?
because how can I explain? Michael Jordan was the leader of the Chicago Bulls. It was a team environment. But when you say who led the Bulls in the '90s, Michael Jordan. He was on the team. On the LeBron James led every team he played on, from Cleveland to Miami to Lakers. Tom Brady, he led the New England Patriots. It was leadership on that team. They still look to him.
I think
And
we
just like in
missing
your
each other.
relationship, if you
Like,
if you
even
got the
with those
leadership role, she
them
gonna look to
listen.
you whether she knows stuff or not.
I get you, but
Yeah.
you think that just because a person is leader by name, like
No, you gotta
Jordan,
be leader by
that he
action
don't he
also.
don't have he but he still gonna get the credit if they lose or win, because he the leader, correct? So that part is I say he a leader by name, although he scores a lot of points. He don't score all the points, and he got to pass the ball. So when you pass the ball, what you doing is you submitting to
But you
somebody else.
directing. But you still directing traffic.
Okay, then.
I mean I mean you still directing traffic. Phone died out.
Okay, my battery is dying now. So we're gonna do a part two on this. The conversation was good. Um, we didn't get really a understanding, but we do understand where each other coming from.
Well, j- just remember what we said and just hit me up Sunday. I'm off. Hello? I can't even hear you.
Yeah, the phone died. We're gonna do a part two on this. It was a great conversation, George. I'm talk to you when we can go back and get back into it. It works out because a lot of things were playing today correctly, but we had to get it in. Y'all probably can hear some grass and getting cut outside and all that stuff. So we're gonna continue this on a later date. And I appreciate George giving me a little time and talking with me on my show. There's gonna be more to come. Y'all look out for us. All right, then. Peace out.